Today we are analyzing s1mPLE'S first CS2 official match. Technically it's his second, but I count this as his first because 4 months ago when he stood in for Falcons against MASTERCLASS at Blast Premier Showdown, he was just helping out the team. They didn't really have any practice. Here they've had 10 days of practice leading up to this Thunder Pick match online against 3D Max. So let's go ahead and review the good, the bad. Let's see how s1mPLE does in his first match back. So s1mPLE's given armor and P250 on the T-pistol. When teams do this, that means that, hey, you are our best player with the best aim. So let's see what kind of picks that you can get. And unfortunately for s1mPLE here, he's caught up in a crossfire. 100,000 people were watching this online tier 2 tournament because of this man on your screen. s1mPLE, despite giving his break and not being active in the CS scene, everyone wants to see how he is doing. Does he still got it? And despite taking that break, he is still one of the most popular Counter-Strike players in the scene. At the beginning of CS2, when s1mPLE was interviewed, he said he wanted to primarily rifle and then secondary op, which reminds me of the time with the early Navi team where s1mPLE and Guardian were on the same team, and Guardian was the main op, s1mPLE was secondary op, and that's not going to happen with this squad because S1MPLE'S was benched for s1mPLE, and we know S1MPLE'S was the main op, so s1mPLE will be the primary opper for this team. We know that Falcons are going to continue to change their roster with Nico coming into this team after the Shanghai Major, and who he replaces, I think that is going to be Dupree, which leaves Magis, Madden, and Snappy. I think Magis is safe. He's still a good player. Snappy and Madden, on the other hand, are up for grabs. We don't know if they're going to be changed out or not. And fortunately, in this round, you see that s1mPLE tries to help out his teammates, but he gets caught up in the smoke here, and they get no frags from this, which is very, very bad. Falcons on a half buy with this losing round bonus. Let's see what kind of play s1mPLE does here with a scout and armor. He's going to hold cave here for the csgo, who wide swings him and he misses his shot. Definitely a shot that s1mPLE should have hit right there. Now this is the moment that we've all been waiting for. s1mPLE finally gets an op. Let's see what type of pick he does here. He goes for the mid peek from the right side. He had a really good spawn. His teammate flashes for him to push off any oppers if Maka had one for mid, and peeking from the right gives you that advantage. And we see 3D Max with defensive mid nades. That's gonna push s1mPLE back here until he gets a nade break from his teammate, and there's no point for him to stay here as the smoke is still up. So we see that he's going to rotate here. He is aware that the CTs can push to the right of the smoke. A very good intuition. And let's see what he does next here. He gets flashes dropped. He is going to flash his teammates into A main. And yes, that is the A main flash. Good to see that s1mPLE knows basic utility. And this Molotov here, the CTs can peek behind it, so it's very good that he's keeping an eye on that. Anytime the CTs re-smoke A main mid-round, you have to be aware that they can go for control. So here he should has it op out when the smoke fades in case the CTs are peeking him. So he should hold on to the flash right after when Magis gets closer, when they clear this close A main entrance. But you see that he does not. But he does get that one frag before being traded. Overall, good round from s1mPLE from start to finish here. Today's video is sponsored by s1mPLE'S. s1mPLE'S is a platform where you can sell your CS2 skins instantly and quickly withdraw your money. All you need to do is log in Steam, select the skins you want to sell, pick your cash out method from all these different options, then click receive money, and in a couple of seconds you get your payment in your account. Don't forget to use code NART to get an extra 3% when selling your skins. Use the link in the description to sell your skins now. Alright, Falcons won that previous round and they were able to retrieve s1mPLE'S op. This time he has the best mid spawn towards the left side, goes for this opening peek towards mid bridge, throws that flash for bridge if any CT oppers were holding to push them off the angle or get them flash as he peeks mid. CTs throw a defensive bridge smoke, forcing s1mPLE towards A here, and you saw that he's aware of the angle and positions that CTs can be in, whether that be window or cave. Sets up his teammates to take A main with that flash assist while holding the flank right after, and he's actually going to go help out, and he drops his op, goes in with a Mac 10. And wow, this is a ballsy play from s1mPLE. He does get one before falling back. Gets noticed that the other player, 2 players from 3D Max are towards A, which should trigger Falcons to go B to open site. Tags up Maka there. And yeah, that's where they have a free open site and 3D Max are going to save here. Anubis is a map that is so T side favored because it's so easy to take map control. So mid round, depending on what the T's are doing, CTs will aggress in a certain position that they think that is best for them to do so. So a lot of T side will be holding to see and wait for that reaction from the CTs, and that's what Falcons is doing here. But unfortunately, Simple is going to fumble around, moving around like this, which he gets caught out from that aggression towards bridge. We've got a faster pace round here called from Snappy in round 11. This is very late into half, and we know how fast of a caller Snappy is, and that is definitely a different play style that Simple is not used to being on Navi for the past years. It's a slow, methodical pace Navi, defaulting heavy, which you saw in these previous 10 rounds is what Falcons were doing. But here they were not able to push out into A main, getting smoked out. And what's going to happen now is they're going to set up to throw an A execute, but Simple should have been given nades and not stayed in this cubby here. So he should be throwing these nades from Madden. This is what the Opera usually throws, so maybe he doesn't know them and Madden does, but in the future you'll definitely see Simple throwing those Madden nades. But now as an Opera, as when your execute is happening, you're going to be covering your teammates from the back, let your teammates entry in first. But we see here that he misses the shot onto the broken wall player. Simple has the best mid spawn from the right side. We've seen him have this spawn when he first had an op. He's doing a really good job using these spawns to try to get this opening pick. Let's see if it works out here. Since he's peeking from this left side, he has an advantage against any offers peeking from that door side since he's peeking from the left. And we see from Maka's POV that he is not going to be able to see Simple at all. So what does Simple do right after? He's just going to hold for any type of re-aggression. Unfortunately, Simple misses a shot, and now since the Opera is down on the opposite side, Simple has free reign to peek whatever he wants, and he does a really good job, smart move here to hold for rotations, and he's gonna be benefit off of that. And what's next is for him to rush mid is kind of crazy with an op, knowing that there was another CT that sprayed the door earlier. He should have been in the far back towards the door side where his two teammates that were with him should be taking the point of contact while he's covering them from the back. And then the last player is B, but unfortunately he misses his shot. So Simple first half. What do I think? Pros. Opening picks, good. He knows what he's doing. The angles, positions. He knows what to be holding for. The bad, he is rusty. We've seen a lot of missed shots from Simple that we know that he should be hitting. It is his first map back in a long time, so we'll give him that. But let's go ahead and go into the second half. This is Simple's score going to the second half. He has 4 frags and 500 ADR, which comes out to be 45 ADR for the half, which doesn't feel like it. I felt like he had more frags than that. 7 rounds into the second half is finally where Simple gets to see his first action. So outside of that pistol round where he had his death, remember he was 4-8, now he's 4-9. These leading up rounds, he did not see anybody. 3D Max has avoided him somehow, but he is going to be a mid player, and as a mid player, you might not start mid, you might start towards A, B. You're going to be a rotational player. And in this round, he is going to get some help mid from Snappy. Mid is so hard to hold on the CT side because these can just easily flush you out and back with utility. He is going to be hiding behind the door while Snappy is going to be watching the door. So Simple's going to be watching window to have this set up here. But unfortunately, Simple loses his aim duel. And you can see that's such a smart play from Dejoko, who is going to spray the door right as Gravity is going to peek towards the door side to go ahead and take care of anybody there. So that's actually super 200 IQ from 3D Max there. First round with an op. He's got the mid spawn. Let's see what he does with it. He's going to go for the mid bridge peek. Hides behind this wall where he can't spot it from the right side of mid. Snappy's holding it here, but you see 3D Max holds an off angle boost where Snappy's head level or crosshair level was at head level, and the boost threw off his aim, but Simple hits a nasty flick there. That's the Simple that we know and love and we expect from him. He rotates A because matches felt a lot of pressure, and usually, you know, Operas and Pro Scene will rotate after their first shot just to keep the T's guessing where they are, because the T's will sometimes just make a move depending on if they hear the op in a certain position. And we've got 3D Max making their way onto the B site. Nice shot from Simple. It's going to come down to a 3v2 retake. So we've got a teammate with him. So as the Opera, when you're retaking, let your teammates go in first, right? Which Simple is going to let Madden do so here. So the reason why Simple wasn't peeking with him is because they know there's a second player. Maybe that second player is going to peek off that contact from Exercise, and we don't know where that second player is. That's why Simple was holding this right side still. And he knows that Exercise was low, so he pulls out his pistol, but unfortunately loses that duel. That previous round was a good round from Simple. Hit 2 nice shots with the op, almost gets the third onto Exercise with the USP, and now we're given a force buy situation with Falcons. XM on Simple, which he used a lot towards the end of CSGO on Nuke. Now, the beginning of CS2, a lot of pros were experimenting with this gun. Since then, it has fallen off, and we see that Simple is rotating over towards B, given that nothing is happening towards mid. And there was a lot of action towards B, especially with Madden Fallen. So as the mid player, you're going to be rotating a lot depending on what's going around with the map. Loses the duel to Dejoko there. Okay, round 22. Falcons do a early 3-player setup towards A. Simple matches A main. We've got Snappy setting up to throw a flash for them to push out to peek into water. However, that's not going to be needed here as they divert their attention towards mid. 3D Max is coming fast into an A split towards camera. Simple comes and helps out, but he whips his shot. Let's go ahead and take a look back. I'm gonna turn off the X-ray here. Not good on Simple's behalf here. Oh, not even close. This is the last round of the game. Simple has an op, starts towards B, holding the B main push and any type of aggro peek. And let's see what's happening with his teammates. Madden's holding this flash for B main. Dupree is playing inside cave, and like I said earlier, we know how mobile Simple is. You know, with the op, he is very unpredictable. He can start towards B, mid, A. This is how he plays on all maps. Keeps the T's always guessing. Fortunately, his smoke break does not work out. Had it did, he definitely gets one there, trying to cross into camera. And now it's a 3v4 retake. Pretty much not a good scenario for Falcons. Pretty hard to do. You can see there's utility left on Falcons too, just flushing them out. So let's just go ahead and recap real quick as he dies here. He ends up with 16, 14. Oh, he exited before I could show the ADR, but the second half wasn't a really good representation of how he played. We didn't really get to see much. We saw the op when he first had it, hit 2 nice shots. And then the round before this one, he did whiff with the M4. Fortunately, 3D Max went to the positions that Simple wasn't playing. But if we recall from the first half, he was rusty still. He missed a lot of shots there too. But we know and saw glimpses of Simple, saw that he's going for these opening picks, saw that on the CT side that he's very mobile. So that was the first half or first map of this best of 3. Let's go ahead and look at the second map, Nuke, which is Falcons' pick. Moving over to the second map, Nuke, which is Falcons' pick, and we know how good of a player that Simple is on Nuke and how good that Navi team was, winning 20 maps straight. So this is Simple's playground. So again, on the T pistol, he's given a P250, has armor, and we see Falcons just take ramp. So let's see in this 5v5 post plant what he can do here. Ooh, that is the power of that P250 in Simple hand does, hitting that one tap that we didn't see on Anubis. So nice aim right there for Simple. Simple has been playing at the highest level for years now, and this round is going to demonstrate so. And he gets a freebie onto the shadow of Maka. And watch this play here. Before he actually crosses, he's going to do a small little jiggle towards his left side, which baits out and gets him this information onto Dejoko, which should have been a cleaner frag. So let's take a look at Dejoko's POV, where Simple baits him with this shot here. And then that is going to allow Simple to take this aim duel onto him. But after getting this frag, Simple is going to go instantly out control side and plant. Why is he playing out in the open? That is because he was worried about Exercise, the upper player, who took out his teammate Snappy towards door. He is afraid that Exercise was going to rotate down vent and come out this way to peek him. So that's why he planned on the opposite side here, away from it. But unfortunately for him, Lucky came out towards ramp. Something I didn't talk about yet is Simple's Deagle, who is one of the best Deagles in CSGO. Top 3 player using this weapon, and we see that he is going to make work out of it. He can win rounds with just a Deagle if Simple just has a Deagle in his hands, and he gets a 1 Deagle onto Dejoko. left in a 1v3 in the lower site. Very hard situation to win here with time running out. Wins that duel against Lucky, but then gets traded there. But we see the power of his Deagle in this round. All right, so we're down 6-1. We're halfway into the first half. Simple is 5 and 6. No op yet, but that's okay. You don't really need one on the T side of Nuke. You could still have a good half and tactic-wise without using an op on this side. So he did spot Maka by crossing there, and he knows Maka is still holding potentially from a credit card. Hits him with an off-angle boost, and from here on out, we know the opper's down. What does Falcons choose to do? They still try to cross down towards Secret. Fortunately for them, Lucky's there, and they're just dropping like flies. And Simple is trying to counteract that. Wins that aim duel against Gravity. Exercise is peeking him. They're just giving him these one-on-one duels where he's capitalizing. Now he is in a 1v2 situation, and he's got the C4. He's checking all these angles as they were giving him these fights, and he is going to get that respect now as 3D Max has fallen back and they're looking for more information on where Simple went. Let me fast forward. Simple makes his way down Decon, has a smoke. He's going to come out safely with the smoke, plants inside the smoke. Once he knows for a bit that nobody can be here, he is going to look towards site. So there, they smoke him off. He knows that they're both on this side now. And since he planted for himself, and since you could see where you're spraying inside the smoke, all Simple has to do is just continue to spray the smoke. And that is how he wins this round with an ace. Well played from Simple. And we saw the aim was definitely there with the rifle this round compared to the previous round and the previous map. Sorry guys, I lied. It wasn't an ace. He got 4K the previous round. But anyways, this first half so far has been horrible for Falcons. I haven't watched his teammates POV and how they're dying, but they're dropping like flies every round, which leaves Simple in these unwinnable clutches where he is the last man standing and he's playing against like 1v3 to 1v5. So very hard for him to do so, to even as good of a player as he is. The T-side Nuke is heavily focused on getting a lot of map control information, but if your teammates are falling like this, it's hard to pull off rotations from the CT side, which might open up the lurk positions on the extremities. So Simple is going to take matters into his own hands. He's actually going to go aggressive here, looks for the peaks, hits a nasty shot into the Shoko and Exercise, opening up this upper site. And then look at this post plant position. I haven't seen Tease do this. He's going to get the edge where he spots Maka's gun. Even if the CTs would have peeked him, it would have been an insane off angle Simple would have had. So that is going to end this first half. And let's go ahead and show you the score. 13-11. Such a huge bounce back from that first game where he only had 6 frags. He already doubled that in just one half. 100 ADR, CT pistol. We've got Simple posted up on the Raptors lower. Let's go ahead and see what he does here. Okay, 1 down. He knows there's somebody towards Decon's or control side, and then he also knows one's ramp. He's gonna play behind this silo here, which is a very annoying position for Tease. Hits 2 crispy headshots. Good start for Simple. I don't know what's going on with the comms over in Falcons, because we'll see that after breaking the smoke, Simple is going to rotate upper, but then again he's going to come back down. Was going to go ramp, but then he comes back outside, but then 3D Max hits upper and split upper. So yeah, he spent like 5 to 6 seconds figuring out where he should have gone. But that's okay. He makes up and he hits this 3K, even though he should have hit that first shot into Lucky. But yes, whatever the comms or rotations going on in that round where he stood still right there, figuring out where he should go, definitely needs to be worked out. This is going to be an insane shot hit from Simple. Look at how flicky he is. He's aiming. Let me rewind that just to see, just to show you guys. Ooh, right here, boom. Flicks to the left. We got to watch that in slow-mo. Let's go ahead and quarter speed that. This is what we know Simple for. Fast and flicky. Boom, baby. That is such a nice shot by Simple. 3D Max is going to hit upper. Simple has freedom to peek whatever he wants now, since we know Maka is dead and Maka is the T-side upper. So Simple can feel free to have that confidence to peek whatever without having to worry about being punished. The thing about Nuke CT side is that we need to get rotations down. That's the #1 priority. Communications need to be on point. Like, hey, who is dropping down first? Do we already have somebody lower, so maybe I don't need to drop down? The ramp guy is the last resort, so I will go pick up ramp if that player is going to drop down. The moment you have some type of miscommunication, misrotation, opens up the freedom for the T's to lurk and get into a position where you might not be watching. So the reason why I'm bringing this up here is that Simple does a good job watching outside right now. Boom. That could have been dangerous right there, that he moved over like that with no vision outside. There could have potentially been a T that pushed up close to him, which he is aware now. And 3D Max is going to try to come back upper from Secret, but unfortunately Simple gets one. He definitely could have had two here, so this repeat, ooh, Gravity was just faster there. Okay, 20 rounds in, Simple 24-13, 127 ADR. He is at the top of the boards, playing super well this half as well as this map. We've got him back on the op. 3D Max are rushing outside. I think they made a mistake and they mismanaged the economy, not knowing that Simple had an op, because you're typically not doing this if the CTs have an op. You're throwing a smoke wall because you don't want to get picked off like this. But, you know, Simple being in the middle here, a player forcing him from the T-Red as well as Type Silo had him nowhere to go after that first shot. The first shot accuracy is definitely looking much better in this match, as we see he lands one right here. Boom! Kayota. Fortunately does not get a follow-up, but it's super close here. What do you guys think about Simple's performance in this match? Let me know down below in the comments, as we've seen Simple hit one more 1 deke for the road, and he's going to end up 27 kills, 16 deaths, 126 ADR, which is a huge turnaround from Anubis. Remember, he only had 6 frags, bottom fragging, and only time will tell if Simple will return to his former self. We can't really judge off this match. You know, Anubis was shaky. He was missing a lot of shots. On Nuke was a huge turnaround where we saw glimpses of his former self. With the rifle, with the deagle, with the op, he did it all. We just have to wait and see. This was an online match. We can't judge anything off it. We have to wait. They do have a LAN tournament in 2 days. They've only had 10 days of practice, like Simple said. So we will see in the future how Simple plays and how Falcons are as a team. Then we can judge. But that's it for the demo review. Let me know down below in the comments what you think. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.